Love is the most transformative energy we possess. It shapes our lives, our experiences, and the way we see the world. But here's the truth: love begins within. It's not something we search for outside ourselves. The love we attract, the relationships we nurture, are reflections of how deeply we care for ourselves. Love is a powerful force that shapes our world, but what we often forget is that it starts from within. Too often we search for love in the external world through relationships, validation, or approval from others, believing that someone else can fill the void we feel inside. We think that once we find the right partner, the right connection, we'll finally be complete. But in reality, true love begins within ourselves. When we don't love and value who we are, we seek love from a place of need or desperation, hoping someone else will fix us or make us feel whole. But no one can do that for us. Only when we fully embrace our own worth, our own inherent value, do we become capable of experiencing authentic love with others. The love we give to ourselves becomes the foundation for every relationship we enter. Loving yourself means accepting all parts of who you are, the light and the dark, the strengths and the imperfections. It means treating yourself with the same kindness and compassion that you would offer to someone you deeply care about. When we do this, we shift our inner dialogue. Instead of criticizing or doubting ourselves, we begin to affirm our worth, understanding that we deserve love and respect simply because we exist. This internal love is transformative. When we are at peace with ourselves, we no longer look to others to validate our existence. We don't need to chase approval or bend ourselves to fit someone else's expectations. Instead, we stand grounded in our truth, knowing that we are enough just as we are. This inner confidence radiates outward, drawing loving and respectful relationships into our lives. Self-love also teaches us boundaries. When we truly care for ourselves, we don't allow others to treat us poorly or take advantage of us. We know our value and we expect others to recognize it as well. This isn't about arrogance or selfishness, quite the opposite. It's about honoring our own needs and ensuring that our relationships are built on mutual respect and understanding. When we approach love from this space of wholeness, we no longer tolerate anything less than what we deserve. The love we cultivate within ourselves doesn't just benefit us, it enriches all our relationships. When we feel secure and fulfilled from within, we can give love freely without expectations or conditions. We aren't looking for someone to fill a gap or fix a problem. We are simply sharing the love that already exists within us. This is where true healthy connections are formed, where love is given and received from a place of abundance, not lack. Moreover, the way we love ourselves teaches others how to love us. People mirror the energy we project. When we show up fully as our authentic selves and treat ourselves with love and respect, we naturally attract those who do the same. We draw in relationships that uplift us, challenge us in healthy ways, and support our growth. These are the kinds of connections that help us flourish. In the end, every relationship we have is a reflection of the relationship we hold with ourselves. If we want love, true and lasting love, it must begin from within. When we nourish our inner world, when we treat ourselves with the care and respect we deserve, the love we seek outside will naturally flow into our lives. It's not about finding someone to complete us, it's about recognizing that we are already complete. And that love, in its purest form, is an extension of the love we give to ourselves. Many of us carry emotional baggage from the past, old wounds, unresolved hurts, and ingrained patterns of thought that shape how we experience love and relationships. These patterns, often established early in life, may have served a purpose at one time. Perhaps they protected us or helped us cope during difficult times. However, as we grow, these patterns can become limiting, keeping us stuck in cycles that no longer serve us. To fully open ourselves to new and healthy relationships, we must release these old patterns. Releasing old patterns starts with awareness. We need to recognize the beliefs and behaviors we've been holding on to, often unconsciously, that affect our current relationships. These patterns might manifest as fear of rejection, feelings of unworthiness, or a tendency to sabotage relationships before they can fully bloom. We might find ourselves repeating the same mistakes, choosing the same types of partners, or reacting in ways that no longer align with who we want to be. The first step in breaking free is acknowledging these patterns exist and understanding where they come from. Many of these patterns are rooted in past experiences. Perhaps a difficult relationship with a parent or caregiver in childhood shaped how we perceive love and connection. We might have experienced rejection, betrayal, or emotional neglect, leading us to believe that love is conditional or that we are not worthy of being loved. These experiences create deeply ingrained beliefs that we carry into adulthood, influencing how we engage in romantic relationships, friendships, and even how we treat ourselves. The challenge is that these patterns often feel familiar, and familiarity can be comforting even when it's harmful. We may be drawn to certain types of relationships because they mirror the dynamics we experience growing up, even if those dynamics are unhealthy. Repeating these patterns feels safe, but it keeps us from experiencing the kind of love and connection we truly desire. To break free, we must be willing to step into the unknown, to create new ways of relating that align with the love and respect we deserve. This process of releasing old patterns requires patience and self-compassion. It's not about blaming ourselves for past choices or berating ourselves for staying in situations that weren't right for us. Instead, it's about understanding that we did the best we could with the tools and knowledge we had at the time. As we grow, we gain new insights and perspectives, and with that growth comes the ability to make different choices. Releasing these patterns is a process of self-forgiveness and a commitment to creating healthier, more empowering relationships moving forward. One powerful tool in this process is affirmations. Affirming new beliefs helps to rewire our thinking and shift our energy. For example, if we've carried the belief that love always leads to pain, we can begin to affirm, "I am open to experiencing love that is kind, supportive, and joyful." Over time, these affirmations become our new truth, replacing the old limiting beliefs that once held us back. It's not an overnight process, but with consistency, we can reprogram our minds to align with the love we truly desire. Another important aspect of releasing old patterns is letting go of the past. This doesn't mean forgetting or dismissing the hurt we've experienced, but rather acknowledging it and then allowing ourselves to move forward. Holding on to past pain keeps us tied to those old patterns. When we release the emotional charge connected to those experiences, we free ourselves to create something new. This might involve forgiveness of ourselves, of others, or both. Forgiveness doesn't mean excusing hurtful behavior, but it does mean releasing its hold on our hearts so that we can move forward with peace and clarity. Ultimately, releasing old patterns is about stepping into our power. It's about recognizing that we are not defined by our past or by the beliefs we once held. We have the ability to create new, healthy relationships that reflect our growth and the love we've learned to cultivate within ourselves. By letting go of what no longer serves us, we open ourselves to a future filled with possibility, where love can flourish freely, unburdened by the weight of old patterns. Affirming the love you deserve is a powerful practice in reshaping your mindset and opening yourself to healthy, fulfilling relationships. At the core of this process is the understanding that our thoughts and words have immense creative power. What we consistently think and speak becomes the reality we experience. Therefore, affirming the kind of love we truly desire is a vital step in attracting and nurturing that love in our lives. Often we carry beliefs about love that are deeply rooted in past experiences, beliefs like "I am not worthy of love" or "love always ends in pain." These limiting thoughts may stem from relationships that didn't work out, from negative messaging we've absorbed over time, or from feelings of inadequacy that cloud our perception of what we deserve, without realizing it. We may be affirming these negative beliefs on a daily basis through our internal dialogue, thus attracting more of what we don't want. Affirmations are the antidote to these limiting beliefs. By consciously choosing positive, empowering statements about love, we begin to reprogram our minds and shift the energy we project into the world. When we say, "I am deserving of love that is kind, supportive, and joyful," we are telling the universe and ourselves that we expect and welcome love that uplifts us. This practice sends a clear message that we are no longer willing to settle for anything less than what we truly desire. The beauty of affirmations is that they work on both a conscious and subconscious level. At first, saying these new affirmations may feel strange or even untrue, especially if our past experiences with love have been painful or disappointing. But with repetition and consistency, these affirmations begin to sink deeper into our subconscious, gradually replacing the old, limiting beliefs that no longer serve us. Over time, we start to embody these new truths, and they become the foundation upon which we build healthier relationships. One of the most important aspects of affirming the love you deserve is being specific. Broad statements like "I want love" can be vague and unfocused. Instead, be clear about the qualities you want in a relationship. For example, affirm, "I attract love that honors my boundaries, celebrates my growth, and supports my happiness." The more specific your affirmations, the clearer the path becomes for that kind of love to manifest in your life. Another crucial element of this practice is believing that you are worthy of the love you affirm. Sometimes we may say the words, but deep down we still doubt our worthiness. This doubt can create resistance, blocking the flow of love into our lives. To overcome this, pair your affirmations with self-compassion and forgiveness. If you struggle to feel worthy of love, remind yourself that everyone, including you, deserves love and kindness. It's not about being perfect or meeting some external standard. You are worthy of love simply because you exist. It's also important to take action alongside your affirmations. Affirmations are powerful, but they are even more effective when combined with intentional behavior. As you affirm the love you deserve, pay attention to how you treat yourself and others. Are you nurturing self-love through your daily actions? Are you setting boundaries that protect your energy and well-being? Are you surrounding yourself with people who uplift and support you? These actions reinforce the affirmations you are speaking and help you embody the love you want to attract. Additionally, be mindful of your environment. Surround yourself with messages, people, and experiences that align with the love you are affirming. If you're affirming that you deserve a healthy, respectful relationship, yet you continue to engage in toxic or one-sided dynamics, it becomes difficult to fully believe in the affirmations. Create an environment that reflects the love you are calling into your life, one that nurtures your growth, well-being, and happiness. Affirming the love you deserve is a practice of self-honoring. It's about acknowledging your value and declaring with confidence that you are worthy of a love that is joyful, supportive, and nurturing. As you affirm this, you align yourself with that energy, and the love you seek begins to find its way to you. With time, patience, and dedication, these affirmations will shift not only your internal world but your external reality, bringing you the kind of love that truly resonates with your highest good. Seeing others through the lens of compassion is a transformative practice that can deepen and enrich all of our relationships. Compassion is about understanding and acknowledging that everyone is on their own journey, facing their own challenges, and carrying their own emotional baggage. When we approach others with compassion, we shift from judgment to empathy, from criticism to understanding. This shift allows for more meaningful connections rooted in kindness and respect. In relationships, it's easy to get caught up in our own needs, expectations, and desires. We often view the actions of others through a lens of personal impact, how they make us feel, whether they meet our standards, and if they are giving us what we want. But when we practice compassion, we step outside of this self-centered perspective and start to see the humanity in others. We recognize that they too have fears, insecurities, and wounds that shape how they behave. With this awareness, we can respond to them with patience and kindness rather than frustration or anger. Compassion does not mean excusing hurtful behavior or allowing ourselves to be mistreated. It's not about tolerating disrespect or neglect in the name of understanding. Instead, it's about seeing beyond the surface actions of others and recognizing the deeper emotional dynamics at play. For example, if someone reacts with anger or withdrawal, instead of immediately assuming they are trying to hurt us, we might consider that they are acting out of fear or pain. This doesn't mean their behavior is acceptable, but it helps us approach the situation with more clarity and calmness rather than reacting in kind. When we view others with compassion, we also give them the space to be imperfect, just as we have our own flaws and moments of struggle. So do those around us. By acknowledging this shared human experience, we create an environment where others feel safe to be vulnerable, to express their true selves without fear of judgment. In this space of acceptance, relationships can grow and evolve, built on mutual trust and understanding. One of the greatest gifts we can offer in any relationship is the willingness to see the other person as they are, not as we want them to be. This doesn't mean we ignore our own needs or settle for less than we deserve, but rather that we acknowledge the complexity of the other person's experiences and emotions. Compassion allows us to hold space for the other person's growth while also maintaining healthy boundaries for ourselves. Compassion also extends beyond personal relationships. It's about how we view people in general, strangers, acquaintances, and even those we may not get along with. In today's world, where division and judgment are often prevalent, choosing to see others with compassion can be a radical act. When we remember that everyone is doing the best they can with the knowledge and tools they have, we soften our hearts, we become less reactive and more open to understanding different perspectives. Practicing compassion doesn't mean we won't experience conflict or disagreement in our relationships. Differences of opinion, misunderstandings, and challenges will always arise. But when we approach these situations with compassion, we handle them differently. Instead of escalating tension, we diffuse it. Instead of holding on to grudges, we allow space for forgiveness and healing. Compassion gives us the emotional resilience to navigate challenges with grace, ensuring that our relationships remain strong even in the face of adversity. A key element of seeing others through the lens of compassion is self-compassion. How we treat ourselves directly impacts how we treat others. When we are hard on ourselves, constantly judging or criticizing our own actions, it becomes more difficult to extend kindness to others. On the other hand, when we are gentle with ourselves, acknowledging our own humanity and imperfections, we naturally become more understanding of the struggles of others. Cultivating self-compassion helps us approach the world from a place of inner peace, which makes it easier to extend that same compassion outward. In practical terms, we can cultivate compassion by simply pausing before reacting to someone's behavior. Instead of jumping to conclusions or assumptions, take a moment to ask yourself, what might this person be going through? What could be driving their actions? Even if you don't know the answer, this practice opens up space for empathy. It reminds you that everyone has their own inner battles, often unseen. Compassion is a powerful force for connection. It allows us to move beyond superficial interactions and build relationships that are based on genuine understanding and care. When we see others through the lens of compassion, we not only enrich our own lives, but also contribute to a world that is kinder, more forgiving, and more loving. Creating healthy boundaries is essential for cultivating loving, respectful relationships and for maintaining our own well-being. Boundaries are the invisible lines that define where one person ends and another begins. They allow us to protect our energy, honor our needs, and establish limits around what we will and won't tolerate. Far from being selfish or rigid, boundaries are acts of self-love and respect, and they are crucial in fostering relationships that are balanced and nurturing. Often we hesitate to set boundaries because we fear they might push others away or make us seem unkind. We may worry that saying no will lead to rejection, conflict, or disappointment. However, the opposite is often true. Healthy boundaries not only protect us, but they also improve our relationships by fostering mutual respect and understanding. When we establish clear boundaries, we communicate our needs openly and honestly, which helps to prevent misunderstandings and resentment. At the heart of boundary setting is the belief that our needs, feelings, and well-being are just as important as those of others. It's about recognizing that we deserve to be treated with respect, just as we respect the boundaries of those around us. Healthy boundaries are not about controlling others or placing rigid demands on them. Instead, they are about clearly communicating our limits and being willing to enforce them when necessary. To create healthy boundaries, we must first become aware of our own needs and limits. This requires self-reflection and a deep understanding of what feels comfortable and what doesn't. Each of us has different thresholds for how much we are willing to give, share, or compromise in relationships. Knowing where your personal boundaries lie is the first step in establishing them. It's important to tune into your emotional responses. Feelings of discomfort, anger, or exhaustion can often be signals that your boundaries are being crossed. Once we have clarity on our own boundaries, the next step is to communicate them clearly. This can be challenging, especially if we're not used to asserting ourselves in this way. But it's important to remember that setting boundaries is not about being confrontational or aggressive. It's about expressing our needs in a calm, respectful manner. For example, instead of saying, "You never listen to me," we can say, "I feel unheard when I'm interrupted, and I'd appreciate it if we could take turns speaking clear." Assertive communication is key to ensuring our boundaries are understood and respected. Enforcing boundaries is just as important as setting them. When others cross our boundaries, it's up to us to gently but firmly reinforce them. This can be difficult, especially when we care about the person or fear their reaction. However, consistently reinforcing our boundaries is essential for maintaining our own mental and emotional health. It also teaches others how we expect to be treated. By standing firm in our boundaries, we show that we respect ourselves, and this encourages others to do the same. It's also important to understand that boundaries are not static. They can change and evolve over time as we grow and our needs shift. What felt acceptable in one stage of life may no longer feel appropriate as we gain new experiences and insights. Being open to reevaluating and adjusting our boundaries is a natural part of personal growth. It's okay to change your boundaries as your circumstances and relationships evolve. Setting boundaries can sometimes be met with resistance, especially if the people in our lives are not accustomed to them. Some may feel uncomfortable or even upset when we begin to assert our needs more clearly. However, this discomfort is often temporary, and in the long run, setting boundaries creates healthier and more fulfilling relationships. It's important to remember that while we can't control how others respond to our boundaries, we are responsible for honoring and protecting them. One of the most empowering aspects of boundaries is that they allow us to give and receive love in a healthier way. When we have clear boundaries, we're able to give from a place of abundance rather than obligation or resentment. We can show up fully in our relationships because we know we are taking care of our own needs. Similarly, when others respect our boundaries, we feel safe and valued, which deepens our connection to them. In addition, boundaries create a space for personal growth. By protecting our energy and honoring our own needs, we create the emotional bandwidth to pursue our passions, invest in self-care, and focus on personal development. Healthy boundaries allow us to maintain our sense of self, even in close relationships, which is essential for long-term happiness and fulfillment. Ultimately, creating healthy boundaries is an act of self-respect and self-love. It's about recognizing that we are worthy of relationships that honor our needs, respect our limits, and nurture our well-being. When we set and maintain healthy boundaries, we create the conditions for love, trust, and mutual respect to flourish in all areas of our lives. Gratitude for every experience is a profound practice that can transform how we perceive and engage with our lives. It involves recognizing and appreciating the value of all experiences, both positive and challenging, and understanding that each one contributes to our growth and understanding. Embracing this mindset helps us cultivate resilience, foster deeper connections, and maintain a positive outlook, regardless of the circumstances we face. Gratitude is often associated with acknowledging the good things in life, relationships, achievements, and moments of joy. However, a deeper practice of gratitude extends beyond these obvious positives. It includes appreciating the lessons and growth that come from difficult or painful experiences. Every experience, whether joyful or challenging, has something to teach us. When we adopt a mindset of gratitude for these lessons, we open ourselves up to greater self-awareness and personal development. When we encounter challenges or setbacks, it can be easy to focus on the negative aspects and feel frustrated or disheartened. However, by practicing gratitude, we shift our focus from what is lacking or going wrong to what we can learn from the situation. For example, if a relationship ends, instead of dwelling on the pain of loss, we might express gratitude for the insights gained about ourselves and our needs. This shift in perspective allows us to see challenges as opportunities for growth, which can be incredibly empowering. Gratitude also helps us reframe our experiences. When we approach life with a sense of appreciation, we begin to see the positive aspects in even the most difficult situations. This doesn't mean we ignore the difficulties or pretend that everything is perfect, but rather that we acknowledge and value the potential for growth and learning within those experiences. This reframing can transform our approach to problems, making us more adaptable and resourceful. One powerful way to cultivate gratitude is through daily reflection. Taking time each day to acknowledge and appreciate the experiences we've had, no matter how small, helps to build a habit of thankfulness. This practice can be as simple as noting 3 things you're grateful for each day, whether they're significant achievements or small, everyday moments of joy. Regular reflection on what we're thankful for helps to shift our focus away from what we lack and toward the abundance in our lives. Gratitude also fosters a sense of connection and empathy. When we appreciate the contributions and presence of others in our lives, we strengthen our relationships and deepen our bonds. By acknowledging and expressing thanks for the support, kindness, and love we receive, we create a positive feedback loop that enhances our connections with others. This appreciation not only makes others feel valued, but also enriches our own experience of relationships. Furthermore, gratitude can be a powerful tool for improving our mental and emotional well-being. Research has shown that regularly practicing gratitude is associated with increased happiness, reduced stress, and improved overall health. By focusing on what we are thankful for, we create a more positive and resilient mindset, which can help us navigate life's ups and downs with greater ease and optimism. Incorporating gratitude into our daily lives also involves appreciating the present moment. Often we get caught up in planning for the future or reminiscing about the past, which can lead to stress or dissatisfaction. By practicing mindfulness and being present in the moment, we can fully experience and appreciate the here and now. This presence enhances our ability to see and value the small, everyday blessings that might otherwise go unnoticed. Another aspect of gratitude involves acknowledging and appreciating our own strengths and achievements. It's easy to overlook our own accomplishments or take them for granted. By taking time to recognize and celebrate our successes, we build self-esteem and reinforce a positive self-image. This self-appreciation is crucial for maintaining motivation and pursuing future goals. Ultimately, practicing gratitude for every experience is about embracing a mindset of abundance and acceptance. It's about understanding that every moment, every interaction, and every challenge has value and contributes to our journey. By cultivating this mindset, we transform our approach to life, fostering a deeper sense of fulfillment, resilience, and connection. Gratitude becomes a lens through which we view the world, allowing us to appreciate the richness of our experiences and find meaning and growth in every aspect of our lives.